to our new series, Cocktail History, where we explore the association of history with cocktails and have a touch of Freeborn County history to that mix. I'm Stephanie Kibler, director here at the Freeborn County Historical Museum, Library, and Village. And joining me is Risha Lilienthal, who is the coordinator of our collections and exhibits here at the museum. Today, we are going to be making for you the Moonwalk.
The Moonwalk, and that starts with grapefruit juice.
Yes.
Just 1 ounce.
Oh, I overpoured the grapefruit. We start with ice.
Oh,
Gotta put the ice in our shaker. Sorry.
I can taunt it out. Here. Do we put all of it in?
No, I would put, I'll do a little bit more. There we go.
There we go.
Do one.
One more. Okay. Ah, big one.
So we start with the grapefruit juice, which is 1 ounce per drink. We're gonna mix 2 drinks at the same time. So we're gonna do 2 ounces of our grapefruit juice.
Yeah, and this drink was made in honor of the moon landing in 1969 in the summer. And so I was thinking when we were planning on this, I don't like how cold it's getting. And so I'm happy that we're doing a drink that was made like inspired by a summer landing.
It's 75 degrees today. What are you talking about?
It's nice today. But yeah, and it was made by the head barman in the American bar at the Savoy.
Yes.
In London, but it was the American bar that threw me. But Joe Gilmore was his name, and he thought about how big and how extraordinary this was, and he wanted to make a drink for the astronauts when they came home.
And so it is, once they were out of quarantine, it is the first adult beverage that Armstrong and Aldrin imbibed in.
And Michael Collins.
And Michael Collins, yes.
Him too.
So our next ingredient is an orange liqueur. We're using Grand Marnier.
Yeah, and when you think about the whole moon landing and how impactful it was, we thought about our Vietnam exhibit that we have here at the museum. We have a little living room that goes along with the living room war, as the Vietnam War has been called. And I think we'll get into that a little bit more when we start drinking.
We can't do that. So our final addition before we shake up our beverage is rose water. And thank you, Jenna at Daisy Blue, who did provide us with our fresh rose water today.
It was even sealed, too.
See, it was wonderful. So we do 3 drops each. So a total of 6 drops of rose water for our 2 beverages. And then we shake. You may shake. Jenna may also come and be a guest mixologist for us and use her chemistry degree during one of our cocktail histories. Cocktail history.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you got it. It's new.
It's new. So then we pour those in. It's going to be too hard to pour with this. You're going to have to pour with that.
Make it look pretty.
And then once those are poured, we are going to top it off with, it says champagne or sparkling wine. We are using sparkling wine. Champagne is a little more expensive, but if that's your taste, there are some really nice ones you can get locally. And when you do open your sparkling wine or champagne, there is a old saying, I don't know how far back this goes, but it goes back a ways. When you open champagne, the tendency is to pop the cork so it shoots. That's wrong. When you open your bottle of champagne, it should sound like a fine lady farting.
I'm sorry, finally, oh. Yeah, that was good. Okay, can you repeat that though?
Fine lady farting.
It sounded like that.
Oops. spilling a little bit. And that is how you make a moonwalk, which is very similar to a mimosa, except that it's grapefruit instead of orange, and it does have the rose water to it and the orange liqueur. So,
I'm gonna try it.
cheers. Oh, that's lovely.
That's weird.
I really like that. That would be a great brunch, a little eggs Benedict. That'd be a really nice brunch beverage.
With like sandwiches? Like
Oh, you
finger
could do like
sandwiches?
a little finger sandwich would be good too. Yeah, that's very tasty. So I'm just gonna throw this little piece in because the moonwalk is also known as a dance step.
Right.
And most people think Michael Jackson was the first one who did the moonwalk. However, back in the 1930s, Cab Calloway, who was a jazz and big band leader, did a dance that was, or a move that was very similar, but he called it the buzz.
Oh.
So that fits really nicely with our moonwalk and Buzz Aldrin. Takes us back to 1930s with Cab Calloway and big band music.
Oh, he was foreshadowing Buzz walking on the moon.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
maybe.
And I guess now we can go back to the living room
The
war.
living room war, yes.
So in our newly redone military exhibits, we again have a little section where it's a living room, and it's in the Vietnam section where we also have an interview with Ray King, who is local here and is a veteran of the Vietnam War. And so we have that area where you can sit down on a nice vintage, like actually 1960s, so it's a 60-year-old chair. It's actually pretty comfy.
Very comfy.
Yeah, and it we have one of those magazine rack lamps next to it. It's all set up really nice, and you can sit and watch the interview. And that's because during this time, people were able to see the Vietnam War on television, actual footage of what was happening.
Which was the first time in our history that the general public got to actually witness war happening in true time,
Right.
real time.
Yeah, and so that was something. They also got to see the moon landing, which was a really big
Yes.
deal. And pardon my reach over here. We actually have a TV guide from that time period, 1969. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's astronauts on the moon.
And this is actually part of the exhibit, which is a hands-on exhibit. So in addition to the TV guide that you can flip through and learn about the actual moonwalk, you can flip through Time Magazine and a couple other magazines down there too.
And I found out that there used to be crossword puzzles in these, and I found out that these used to be really, really cool. I didn't know what it was, so just like...
The TV guide predates Risha.
Yes. And also, I didn't know that 1960s TVs didn't have remotes.
Yes, you used to get up and have to turn the dial.
Like, I knew that was a thing, but I thought it was much further back.
This is, we didn't even talk about this, but 1960s TVs, you know, there was not cable television. So you actually had to tweak the rabbit ears when you moved, when you switched your dial. So, yes, sometimes people would put tinfoil on the ears, I guess, to make it come in better.
I've seen that in like movies.
Yeah. I can recall having to get up from the dinner table or the sofa in the 1970s and have to change the channel or turn the volume up.
With like your little TV tray and TV dinner.
That was a special treat. We didn't get those very often. My mom cooked every night, so that was kind of a, if maybe they'd go out for a Saturday night, then we got to sit with the TV tray and the TV dinner.
Oh my gosh.
I wonder if we could get one of those in for our
That'd be fun.
living room exhibit. Little TV dinner.
Yeah.
So anyway, we hope you come out, take a seat at our in our Vietnam era living room and flip through the magazines. The Ray King interview that Risha mentioned is fantastic, heartfelt, shares a lot of the experiences he went through. So we encourage that. Tour the rest of our military exhibits. We start with Civil War and go through the
all the way happened through
through
Vietnam.
Vietnam. Sorry, did a little space.
You
Or-
spaced when we're doing the moonwalk?
I did, I just spaced when I did the moonwalk. Anyway, we appreciate you joining us. I encourage you to try this with a little breakfast on a Sunday morning, and cheers.
Oh, and we will have the recipe in the description too, so if you want to look at that and know what everything's called and the amounts, if you don't want to keep going back and listening to us try and writing it down, we have it in the description.
Yep,
So,
we do.
Yeah.
We do. So, cheers.